You're in the middle. You must decide which you'll support, tyranny or liberty. If you choose not to decide, tyranny will be your lot. We pray you stand for the principles of liberty. We've got Bob Chapman, the international forecaster, with us today. Welcome, my friend.
Well, it's very nice to be here again.
Wow, man. The oil spill is crazy. I don't believe they're trying to stop the oil from leaking at all. They're just trying to basically tap it, not cap it, because there's too much money to be made. They don't really care about the environment as long as they get the oil in the tankers and they can sell it.
Well, I think you're right about that, but it has all of the aspects of a high probability that it was a false flag event. And the reason I say that is that we saw Goldman Sachs sell 44% of their position in BP a few weeks before that happened. And it's my suspicion they probably used derivatives to short against the box on the remainder of their shares. In other words, freezing them so they couldn't take any further loss. 3 weeks before the incident, BP's president sold 1/3 of his holdings in the company, which is very suspicious under the circumstances. And then we have Halliburton running around doing things, and every time I look at Halliburton, I know there's trouble in the wings somehow. And so how long they're going to let this thing go on remains to be seen, and the damage is going to be colossal.
And they're going to advance their control over good, honest, innocent people every time. They'll never let, whether it was intentional or not, go to waste, and they're going to use it effectively. They're going to use that as their key environmental card, aren't they?
I think so. It's already being used by the person who is president of the United States to advance carbon taxation. And so it's probably one of the reasons, if not the main reason, that this happened. One of the things that I was on the air with Jim Tucker on Friday, and he's the fellow who for many years has reported on the Bilderberger meetings, and I've known him for a long, long time because I used to be financial editor along with G. Gordon Tether on the Spotlight many years ago when it first started. And what they're talking about here, even though, now these are the Bilderbergers talking, even though they know it's a giant scam and it's been discovered, they're going to push it anyway because they want carbon taxes.
And you know what? I think we need to stand hard against them, but if we're not very careful, they're going to get it.
You're right.
Now, I believe if enough of us stand up and stop it and get aware and get involved quickly, I'm not saying it's a lost cause. I believe it could be stopped, but I'm telling you right now, if good, honest people don't stick together, they'll ram that sucker through.
They certainly will. There was a lot of early information coming out of Bilderberger. Of course, the members, and I'll have that in Saturday's issue, who was slated to attend, many did not attend because of the terrible adverse publicity. Danny Eslin had spoken before the Italian Senate and then before the European Union Parliament, and said, this is what these guys are doing. And no one's ever come out like that before and exposed them for what they are and the non-reporting of what goes on, even when a number of people were there from major TV, radio, and press entities. And so that was one of the factors. And also, Jim said that they were strongly unanimous so far in the members that were there, and they all hadn't arrived yet, on attacking and invading Iran.
They're going to insist on it. Jim's been caught up on this. Danny Esplin has been caught up on this. Alex Jones has been caught. They're putting a lot of pressure, and at first people laughed at their stories, said they weren't credible, although we all knew they were. Now the mainstream press having to kind of start to sit up, and the problem is they're going to get left behind.
Well, I don't think they're concerned about that because the mainstream media is controlled probably 97% by the Illuminists. And so that's why we don't get any news. Very, very prominent people for years in the reporting business have been at those meetings and never reported on them. It was part of what they call
almost a rite
the
of
Chatham
passage.
House rules. And Chatham House is the the think tank for the Queen of England, who was the head of the black nobility, who are the head of the Illuminati.
And the interesting part about it was almost like a rite of passage. As long as you don't report, you're welcome. The second you break the silence, you're out.
That's right.
But you think they're going to attack Iran?
Oh, absolutely. No question in my mind. They've got to have war for diversion.